After that, uh, we can individual differences and be prepared for the adult life in diversity society. Next, under NEP, which of the following are the key step taken for the relation of the student in school? So, deploying teacher with knowledge, and overhauling the curriculum to make them more engaging. Next is assertion reason based question. The Union Cabinet has approved NEP 2020 to introduce several changes in Indian education. Yes, it is true, and it include environmental science as an integral part of education to prepare students for future environmental hazards. So both option A and R are correct. Next, dash tests are part of formative evaluation. So, internal, unit, and periodical. All tests are part of formative evaluation. Next, what influences student learning? Answer is culture. Culture influences the student for learning. Next, what are the outcome of the models on school leadership? So, for school leadership, the leadership for learning is the model. Leadership for learning is the framework and set principles that are arose from the uh, project in which researchers work together to develop the practice of leadership for learning. So leadership for learning is a model for on school leadership. Next is what type of development does the term designing teaching learning process refer to? So answer is teacher professional development is related to designing teaching learning process. Next, what type of leadership focus on student learning? That is shared leadership. Shared leadership is a style which focus on student learning. Next, what type of leadership is collaborative leadership? So shared in previous question also we learn about the shared leadership. So shared leadership, collaborative leadership, shared leadership is a type of collaborative leadership, and shared leadership is focused on student learning. Next is what is goal of distributed leadership, that is maximize human capacity is the goal for distributed leadership. Guidance in which students are assisted to choose a better career and to solve their vocational problem. So that is called vocational guidance. Next is social guidance assists the student to acquire knowledge, attitude, strategies, skill to relate effectively to others. Next, inclusive education means to facilitate all the children with equal education and opportunity. So it is a umbrella term which all the children with their differences and disability, all the children are included. Next is how many factors have been found to support school community partnership. So four factors are there which support school community partnership. That is strong school leadership, inviting school culture, teacher commitment, and collaboration and communication among partners. So these are the main factor for school community partnership. A test given in a school children primarily test to understand the concept. The focused assessment should be on detailing what and how the learner has been learning. Before deciding on assessment method for her class, what should the teacher keep in mind? Teacher should keep in mind who is going to use the result, what is the best way to find out the learning curves, which method would help me to reflect on my pedagogy section. That is the And remember, segregate student is not a part of the learning. Next, assessment should be it details what and how the student has been learning. What is appropriate task given to the children with sufficient and appropriate material. So get naturally attracted to the material, like to use the material for completion of the task. One trick is that which is the long answer most of the time, that is the correct option. Next is which of the following is not correct about teaching learning TLM. According to TLM, the very presence of material before the children move them, that is correct option. Making them active learner, we use TLM. Then this material helps the children. It will obviously it helps the children to participate learning, and the material break the monotony also. Next, what point should a teacher consider while preparing the monthly scheme of lesson in any subject? So, study the syllabus obviously and determine the total number of periods required to teach. Okay. So, next is what is the benefit of unit plan for the teacher and student? To make the student and teacher aware of the teaching learning activities that they have to perform. While planning for use of ICT in class, Seema notes down the characteristic of ICT in her diary. Which one is not a correct characterization of ICT? That is limited range of communication media. So that is not a characteristic. Real time access, we can access real time na, and easily available enhance the stimulate the thinking. Next is which one is limitation of using ICT. So limitation using ICT is the student tend to focus the superficial presentation and copying from the internet. That is the limitation. Copying from the internet. So and computer limit the student imagination, and a student easily copy the thing. So that's why it is a limitation. Identify the wrong statement. Development is continuous, development is cumulative, and development follows the partner principle of interaction. That is correct option. Okay, development cannot predict, it is wrong option. We predict the development. Incorrect statement regarding the experimental method. In this method, there is less objectivity. Okay, that is incorrect. Experimental result can be proved again and again. Relation between cause and effect can be established. Experimental method require more money and time. Next is one of the following not related to cognitive domain, that is application appreciation, that is not the part of cognitive domain. Application, analysis and evolution, synthesis analysis, comprehension and knowledge based analysis all are part of cognitive domain, that is under the Bloom taxonomy. Next, in Pavlov experiment, the dog salivated on hearing the bell sound. So here this saliva that of dog is conditional response. Next is in operant conditioning rule of learner is active. Always learner is active. Directive counseling was introduced by Williamson. Next, development is a complex process of integration different structure and function, stated by Anderson. Next, according to Kohlberg stages of moral development, morality of individual principle and conscience relate to post-conventional level. That is stage 6. Morality is related to post-conventional level. Next is according to Erickson, the psychological critical situation faced by the children during play age is um, initiative versus guilt. Initiative versus guilt is the third stage of addiction. During the initiative versus guilt stage, children assert themselves more frequently through the directing play and other social interaction. These are particularly lively, rapid developing years in children's life. Secondary need among the following is safety. In Pavlov experiment, food is a unconditional stimulus. Pavlov experience food is a unconditional and saliva is a conditional. An unconditional stimulus is stimulus that leads to automatic response. In Pavlov experiment, the food was unconditional stimulus and unconditional response is automatic response to the stimulus. The dog saliva for food is unconditional response in Pavlov experiment. Operant conditioning is instrumental conditioning. Next, physical development include the development of external as well as internal organ. Next, which of the following statement about growth and development is true? Growth is a physical, whereas the development is psychological. As maturation is a process, behavioral does not necessarily happen along with aging but occur throughout the lifespan. Okay, next is general Hindi. So, निम्नलिखित प्रश्न में ध्यानपूर्वक पढ़िए और प्रश्नों का उत्तर देने के लिए उचित विकल्पों का चयन कीजिए. सो इसमें कौन सा समास है? विद्यार्थी. विद्यार्थी एक तत्पुरुष समास है. ठीक है. तत्पुरुष समास वो समास है जिसमें बात का अथवा उत्तर उत्तर पद प्रधान होता है तथा दोनों पद के बीच का कारक चिन्ह लुप्त हो जाता है. सो जैसे राजा का कुमार राजकुमार, रचना का करने वाला रचनाकार, गंगा जल गंगा का जल. सो हेयर विद्यार्थी तत्पुरुष समास. नेक्स्ट इज गुनाह का देवता उपन्यास का लेखक कौन है? धर्मवीर भारती. नेक्स्ट, जो सरल सरलतापूर्वक प्राप्त किया जा सके इस वाक्य के लिए एक शब्द का चयन कीजिए. So, सुलभ. सुलभ is the answer. So, तो जो सरलतापूर्वक प्राप्त किया जा सके दैट इज सुलभ. सरलतापूर्वक. नेक्स्ट, निम्न में से कौन सा शब्द क्रोध का पर्यायवाची शब्द नहीं है? सो ames cope is a पर्यायवाची शब्द. रोष is a असी is not a पर्यायवाची शब्द. असी क्रोध का पर्यायवाची शब्द नहीं है. असी तलवार का पर्यायवाची शब्द है. नेक्स्ट, अशुद्ध वर्तनी वाले शब्द का चयन कीजिए. सो परलौकिक. So, Dipani and it third number option wrong है. So that is अशुद्ध वर्तनी. आशीर्वाद. 4 is आशीर्वाद. नेक्स्ट, अग्रज शब्द का लिए विलोम शब्द अग्रज अनुज. अग्रज मीन्स बड़ा भाई, अनुज मीन्स छोटा भाई. नेक्स्ट, करुण रस का सही शब्द क्या है? करुण का सही शब्द है शोक करना। नेक्स्ट निम्नलिखित प्रश्न में ध्यानपूर्वक पढ़िए और प्रश्नों का उत्तर देने के लिए उचित विकल्पों में से चयन कीजिए। सो मेरे तो गिरिधर गोपाल दूस, दूसरे ने किया। जाके सिर मेरे मुकुट मेरे पति से। सो इन पंक्तियों में कौन सा रस है? सो फोर ऑप्शन इज करेक्ट। नेक्स्ट इज निम्नलिखित प्रश्न में ध्यानपूर्वक पढ़िए और ठीक है। सो बाल की खाल उतारना, ये बहुत बहुत छानबीन करना। लास्ट इज चिकना घड़ा होना का अर्थ है निर्लज होना, निर्लज होना। नेक्स्ट इंग्लिश। An army officer must abide on the laws of National Defense Academy. So यहाँ पे यहाँ से grammatical error find करना है। Abide by होता है, abide by, abide not abide on. Next is my brother having finished his work rushed to meet me at the airport. यहाँ पे my brother having finished, having के बाद always finished होता है। It is a clause, primary clause in perfect participle. Next, Alice asked her she could see a woman seated on the bench in a park. So यहाँ पे है interrogative sentence, यहाँ पे asked her के if and if after Alice asked her in that is interrogative sentence. Direct speech and indirect speech formula you have to remember. For conjunction we used if. Next, यहाँ पे देखो कौन सा रॉन्ग है। द तमिलनाडु गवर्नमेंट इन जुलाई डिसाइडेड टू ड्रॉप द प्रोजेक्ट टू प्रिजर्व द डिकम decommissioned submarine INS Pagli, like a museum. Like a museum is not as a museum. So as will follow after the way, in same way, in same condition. So preserve as should be used instead of preserve like. Next is among the proposal, the decision to set up a maritime museum in Lothal at Gujarat was specially not not worthy. So यहाँ पे करेक्ट सेंटेंस होगा म्यूजियम एट लोथल इन गुजरात। ठीक है। जो बड़ा है, जो बड़ा कंट्री है दैट इज इन देखो स्मॉल लोकेलिटी के लिए हम लोग एट यूज करते हैं और जो बिग एरिया है दैट बिग प्लेस के लिए हम लोग इन यूज करते हैं। नेक्स्ट सी रेफर टू द न्यू mass upsurge in the country and appeal to the member to channelizing their enthusiasm for constructive purpose. So to channelize their enthusiasm is wrong. So in case of we use to V1. So to V1 यहाँ पे नहीं यूज हुआ है। Channelize will be used. ठीक है, channelizing ing is added, so that is wrong. That's why it is wrong. Next, elite. Elite का synonym है that is accelerate. ठीक है, elite means happy. हाँ, accelerate means make someone feel very happy. To entrain to mount, entrain to board a train. Mount means to climb up. Next, to sue. To sue means to absolve. Absolve, declare someone means free from guilt, obligation or punishment. To sue. हाँ, to sue का एंटोनिम Susio means legally proceeding against are typically for redress. Absolute declare free from the guilt. Last is select the correct spelling, that is sagacity is the correct spelling, and sagacity is the quality of being sagacious. And general knowledge paper, this is the question trick. So thank you. That's it for the day. Kindly subscribe my channel.